Hello. All right, got another art for inspiration for you. This today we're going to take a peek at. This is kind of a weird book for me to review, just because this artist basically came in and came out, peaked on this book, and all that, and I'll discuss that. Maverick One-Shot. I think this was like 1996. My boys were both young. Yeah, he's dated 96. So my oldest was very young when this book came out, and I just recall how cool it was. How cool it was. It's got like this weird mashed up style. It's like Mark Teixeira mixed with Jay Lee, mixed with Jim Lee esque anatomy. It just had a lot of really cool things that I like all mixed into one. And unfortunately, so the artist here, Wilfred Santiago, I believe. Yeah, Wilfred Santiago. Unfortunately, I did like research their work prior to this and after this, and it looks like they did quite a bit. What was it like? Milestone. I think they worked on like the Static comic or something, and that stuff just didn't hit. It was completely different house style. It didn't feel like this, and to my knowledge, this is the only book that this artist approached in this way. There's nothing, like I said, before or after that's even close to this. It's really kind of a bizarre thing. Um, but anyways, yeah. So you get like I said, you get a lot of like that Mark Teixeira feel mixed with Jim Lee. It's just it's a kit bash version of like a lot of cool artists. And yeah, man, I just really dig it. I really like this book a lot. So and this is the same copy. I bought this from I think I bought it from a Lucky's supermarket in California way back. I know it was a supermarket. If it wasn't Lucky's, it was Save Mart, because those were the only two places I was shopping at the time. So yeah, I'll thumb through here. You can check it out. This is newsprint, so some of the black might have a little bit of a shimmy. But yeah, and it goes back to the whole like Maverick storyline, way back when it was like Maverick, Wolverine, and Sabretooth together, right? And it's like fighting Omega Red and all that. But yeah, like a lot of this stuff is just so cool. And it's bizarre to me because, like, yeah, like I said, nothing else after this kind of. Another artist who was out around the same time was working at a company I was working at as well. I'm gonna butcher his name. I'm gonna say Frank Turan. So Frank Turan was an artist on the Jaguar God book for Verotic, and then he also had illustrated a Sabretooth one shot, and Frank Turan also did. Um, well, that was later, but he did a one off of like Kazar or whatever from Marvel. So he kind of got around with just doing like these one off oversized uh, one shots, like 48, 64 pages, and that's kind of what this one is too. But yeah, just really kind of it resonates in that a lot of popular artists, but drawn like super raw and gritty and in your face, and just really heavy on inks and just really fun to look at. And it blows my mind. I don't have anything here to show you, but if you see this artist's work on the DC milestone stuff, it is night and day. It is not. It's like you'd be like, that's not the same artist, and I'm like, yeah, it's literally the same artist. And it was an overnight like a light switch. Like they just switched it on, did this, and then switched it off, and went back to like this very clean, cartoony sort of thing. It's got to be one of the weirdest um, art style transitions I think I've probably seen. But I'm glad they did it for this. I mean, this is definitely collectible and readable to me. Fun to look at, cool to see like a lot of these things that they did, a lot of the effects and they really didn't. do a lot of like splatter work. I feel like a lot of this stuff here was I don't even know what you would call it. It's like where you get like a paper towel and you kind of do some dry blotch work, and you use that, and then you come in and cut it up with either whiteout or a razor blade, and you create these like thin white lines through your work, stuff like that. It's much more of an illustrator approach than a standard house style comic artist approach. I know Jay Lee did a bunch of that, and obviously probably learned it from Bill Sienkiewicz did it a ton. I know later on David Mack was doing that a bit. Any artist with a gray style probably did it or does it still. See a lot of this here, these white streaks through here. It's probably some sort of white. It's probably fully spotted black all the way through, and then kind of comes through with like a dry brush or something to create, these speed lines through here. And then whatever picks up, picks up. But yeah, like I said, it's just a really interesting book. And I remember looking for more of his work, and the shop that I was going to had no clue. They're like, "Oh, I wasn't even aware of that book," and I was like, "Yeah." I guess they didn't order heavy, or it just didn't resonate with them. And I was like, "Well, if you got any more stuff by this artist, I'm really like wanting to check this out because they're doing a lot of things that I didn't really feel like a lot of artists were really like committing to." Jay Lee had already kind of abandoned the Bisley look by this point. So I was always in the market for like new edgy artists who got like pretty cool, sinister looking work. That was just one of the things. I just style over substance. I was still pretty young, so but yeah, this is like such a Jim Lee type of shot right here too. Yeah, and then this stuff right here like screams like this right here is like very Mark Texeira to me. So yeah, you had like brushwork mixed with like traditional nib inks, and then like some repeated pattern stuff going on, almost like stippling stuff going on too. It's really interesting to me. Really nice work with the tech. So not a lot of shortcuts. I mean, besides things like this with these little silhouetted figures, I mean, there's really not a lot of shortcuts in this book. Um, and this era Marvel color department was whack, terrible colors. They would kind of stick to like the basics, like oh, let's use yellow to shade. Uh, that red needs a highlight. Use yellow. Things like that. Like just super terrible decision making in Photoshop. Um, so a lot of times the artwork had to be really good for the reader just overlook. But this one here, they did okay. They did okay-ish. A lot of lavender, purple, and red, and I'm not put off too much by like some of the attempted shading in some of this area. They didn't. It doesn't look like they use like the dodge and burn tool like a lot of these old school Photoshop colorists would do. Um, it looks like they were actually introducing a little bit of like um, a burgundy or even like a purple into it. So that's not too bad. Spoke too soon, actually. I think this is a burn in the shoulder pads, but whatever. Yeah, stuff like this. Like, this is, it's so cool. It's so cool. And again, like, I had never even heard of this artist. I was like, what? This is crazy. Look at this. Again, nice tech. Great shot of Maverick right here. Look at this. That's awesome. So, yeah. But anyways, again, like I said, I've done pretty extensive research on this artist. I cannot find anything else they've done even remotely similar to this quality or whatever. So I don't know if it was just I don't know. I hate to say fluke, but sometimes people, sometimes that happens, right? Yeah, not much in here is like losing me. It's just really cool. Some of these old old school concept cars. Yeah, it's just really interesting stuff. So, anyways, yeah, if you're interested in this, this is the I don't even know what they call it. I guess just Maverick #1. Maybe there is no numerical anything on here for it. It's just called Maverick. Blasting from the pages of Wolverine, Maverick. Cool logo. I like that they incorporated in the A his face mask design into the A. In the Shadow of Death, maybe. This is in. Hold it. Give me a second. I read it. Wolverine. It's not Wolverine Omnibus 6. It's what is technically Wolverine Omnibus 7, I believe. But that one has a title. It's not. Anyways, it's the Wolverine Omnibus. Lanil Yu does the main cover to it. And it's going to be the same one that includes. What Wolverine is. Okay, so now I'm tripping over my own words. It's going to also include the Wolverine Cable Blood and Guts Stephen Platt one-shot. So whichever one that is, it'll also include this. But again, it's a maybe release date will help you guys. It's going to come out like the first quarter of 2026. So just okay. I did see that, but yeah, I don't know anything else this is in. Should still be affordable. This is not like a heavily sought after book. And if you're an artist and you have kind of a gritty style and looking maybe for some ideas of how to approach different things with panels or just shading in general, whatever, it's got a lot of cool stuff. Or if you just really like, really cool looking edgy art, highly recommend. All right, guys, ding the dings, bing the bells, all the good stuff. Subscribe if you'd like. I got a lot more of these videos, art for inspiration. It's just me showing off stuff that I like with my biased opinions about the artists I like and all that. So I hope you all have a nice weekend, all right? All right, peace out.